With me now is Martin Preece, the interim CEO of Goldfields. Martin, thank you very much for joining us here on the Nielsen Network. In terms of your full year results, obviously robust operating performance, but I want to move straight to the investment case for Goldfields going forward. Given where you are in your life cycle and having had the Yamana transaction not coming to fruition, which was obviously, as you've put in your verbiage, a key focus for the 2022 period.
Thank you, Bronwyn, and good afternoon. Last year was a traumatic or eventful year, maybe for us, but I think the investment case, as you say, is underpinned by strong operational performance. We've continued to deliver within guidance, both cost and output, and more importantly, looking forward, there's lots of good quality near-term growth with Salares Norte moving up to adding about 500,000 ounces per annum, and the continued build-up at South Deep. We've got a really robust balance sheet at the moment, and on the back of that, I think we're positioned to make some really good decisions. We've learned some lessons from the Yamana transaction last year, and we still focused on how do we grow the quality and portfolio of our assets. Yamana was one of the scenarios we looked at, and we'll continue with our analysis to look at more bolt-on and organic growth going forward.
So absolutely, you have said, Martin, clearly in your results write-up that inorganic growth is going to be a key focus. So as you say, bolt-on acquisitions. Is your team hard at work looking for M&A right now, and where in the world, which geographies will you be focusing on?
So the team is always hard at work. We've got a great team in that space. We obviously want to focus on jurisdictions that we currently operate in. I think you're well aware from our last year that Canada remains an attractive destination for us. It would certainly be something, if the right opportunity came up in Canada, we would want to look at that. But we'd look at certain other jurisdictions in the Americas. We like the Americas and the areas where we are, Australia, less South Africa, Ghana, and the Americas, and Canada would be a very lucrative spot for us to be hunting.
And Martin, just a final question. You obviously will be road showing with the investment community and competing for capital allocation with many different companies. What are you saying to investors from a Goldfields perspective right now?
Well, I think I touched on it. We've got a great team in place. We've got a great, I think, underlying results are there. The operations are performing. Our balance sheet is in a good space. And, we've taken some lessons from last year. We might be been a little bit bruised last year, but we fully fit and we're running, and we have no intention of surrendering. We're going to build a great company.
I did say it was my last question, so apologies for jumping in with one more. In your position as interim CEO, is there any visibility on the period for which you will be occupying the hot seat?
So, Bronwyn, I think positions like this have long resignation periods. The board is well advanced with the search. They've appointed a search agency. They're going through the process of long listing, short listing, and I suppose once they've made a decision, we will know those resignation periods. We must probably looking anything from 6 to 12 months, depending on resignation periods.
Martin Preece, Interim CEO of Goldfields, thank you so much for joining us here on the Nielsen Network. Appreciate your time.